Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Farm Manager 2021. It's episode number 13. It's still chapter 4. We may or may not be done with that here in just a moment because all that's left on the current objective is to sell 1,000 kilograms of apple organic. And we're coming out of winter right into spring, and we should be seeing our apple orchard. And there it is, first day. So it sadly was 9 days. 9 days away from being harvest ready. But last year we planted in the spring, but we planted saplings, and it took time for those trees to grow, and they came up literally 9 days short of getting a harvest in before the winter hit. So they went into hibernation, and just today come out of hibernation and reset way back to roughly the halfway point in their growth cycle, and it's going to take 155 days to get an apple harvest. So we're going to have to kill some time and let things get on by. Meanwhile, all the fields getting ready for the year. The last 2 fields that we had that didn't quite make it through to December. We had a harvest and then a plow, just not cultivated. This one was harvested just in time, and then the remnants of the field ended up dying off due to the winter. So again, a little bit of time to kill, and we'll see what happens. Manual field work getting done, planting of the fodder beets. We have all these tractors, but with extra employees, they're going out and doing what they can to get things done. Now we've started the big research, the longest research, the one that improves production yields on the fields themselves. That's going to be a big one, but it also takes a year, and we have 280 days left of that. So we've already gone through nearly 3 months, and that would be the winter season passing on by. But otherwise, we are doing well. We're making so much progress. We're nearly at 5 million. Just last episode, we topped 2 million for the first time. So we added roughly 3 million or something like that over the last year. I don't know. It was a lot. In fact, I suppose if we look at our finances and we look at a yearly total, yeah, we were at 1.8. We now have 4.7. We added 3 million since last year. That's crazy. That is crazy. That was our bypass of the winter, and that's why it's a solid line through there. But you can just see increase. You can see 2 deficit areas. Let me show you what at least one of those was. We have our 2 black currant fields, basically one large field, and then we have our raspberries. And we were working at a pace where the black currant was constant, and I was never getting the black currant done, meaning the raspberries were just piling up. So it doesn't take 4 employees. 2 or 3 is sufficient, but we have a fruit processing plant now exclusive for the raspberry jam, and then we have one that does remain pretty much constant with 3 employees. They get caught up over the winter and clear things out, but the blackberry jam, these 2 little fields yield enough that they keep these 3 constantly busy. So we added a second plant that costs us $1,400 a month, but we're essentially cutting out 1 employee from the mix, but we're going from 4 to 6 employees. So we add 2 employees and a processing plant that's the equivalent of a 3rd employee. So the expense is 3 employees, and yet we're getting near constant production now in terms of the jam. And it's been a while since we've sold any. Let's take a look at what it actually looks like when it ends up on the market. We'll try to catch some of it here just to see how much is that jam. So that's $2,500 for a single unit, meaning you're already paying for it with just 2 units completed. And there's 2 units completed just like that. So there's that added expense already covered off. And they do that in a matter of days. So it's definitely paying off. Now we've been making oatmeal for a while, so we got to keep an eye on those numbers, make sure it doesn't drop down to nothing. We're at 39,000 though, so they aren't really keeping up. Same with the wheat. The wheat seems to be holding steady now. So mass production on the mill is really only just keeping up with those things. Also, other project that we completed in between last episode and where we're at now, of course it was only August or September, and now it's April, so you know, time did pass. But the other thing was we had our cabbage field and our carrots field, but now that the carrots task that we're in here done, decided to make more money than just selling the organic carrots themselves, and that's making organic carrot juice. And that also meant that the sauerkraut that did not pay very well, but was the only thing that we could do with this vegetable processing plant, now is taken care of. I stopped making cabbage. We switched to more organic carrots, plus this organic carrots, so one large field, one small field, and now we're just making the carrot juice. So we gave up on the cabbage and the sauerkraut, no longer a thing, and something much more profitable in comparison. Here's what we were making: sauerkraut. Max production is 44,000 a month. The carrots, the carrot juice, max production, double. So, doubling the funds, but we're also going from a third of this field to tripling that plus another. So we've gone 4 times the production of what we had from the cabbage. The cabbage one harvest was 4,000, and now we're getting a lot more in terms of carrots. The yields don't quite match up the same, so it's not exactly a 4-to-1 ratio, because the carrots do produce a bit less than the cabbage did, which is actually surprising since carrots take up a significantly smaller space in real life than a cabbage does. I would think a field of carrots would yield a bit more, but then again, you can't, well, they are packed in quite close. But you have room in the rows in between. I don't know. This seems to yield about 4,000, where that third of that seemed to yield 4,000 cabbage. It's the size, I suppose. It's about weight, right? Carrots are tiny. Well, they're long, but they're so thin and narrow. That's probably where that comparison came from. It's not exact number of units. It wasn't 4,000 heads of cabbage versus 4,000 carrots, individual carrots. It's 4,000 kilograms of carrots versus 4,000 kilograms of cabbage, and the cabbage is much bigger, more dense than the carrots. Yeah, okay. Hey, it makes sense. What? Oh, physics. Alright, raspberries, grass, more black currant. That's why they stay so busy. Meanwhile, we cut out a worker from here. We cut out the 2 extra workers we had working there. So actually, it didn't even cost us anything to add them in here because we had some spares in these locations. So 2 new employees, but a third if you count the processing plant itself. So just the overhead, the original 300 and whatever that we had to put down to order it. None of these are ready. They are not working anywhere near as hard now. It was weird how far behind they were, and then we added a 4th employee, and then all of a sudden they were just way on top of our flax and hemp oil production. They just kind of flew through that process. Well, anyway, down to 113 days now, so it's still going to take a little while till that's ready. So again, with the time to kill, all the fields are planted, all the fields are growing. The equipment's been doing fine. I mean, there's occasional delays of a couple of days here and there for things to happen, but it's so minor. this is that beautiful part. I mean, we've got things fairly well optimized. I mean, it's not a perfect system, but it's fairly well optimized. I mean, we are definitely have a nice balance of how things are going at the moment. The milk, quite a bit more balanced these days as well. The grass is still, even with triple silage, still not quite on a break-even sort of nature, but we don't necessarily have room for a fourth. Yeah, let's see the oats, how it's not coming down. The wheat is coming down though. Okay, the wheat is down to 5,000 now. We might want to switch to oats. And I wish there was something I could do with the buckwheat besides it just being a food. I don't know why. Okay, we cleaned out the rye. We have no corn. We do have flax, but we're making the oil from it. We don't have poppy anymore, so yeah, switch to the oats. Let's make some progress on that for a little bit before we run ourselves totally out of wheat, which we need as a food resource. Okay, we're starting to just throw in some harvests. It's all raspberries, fodder beets, blackcurrant, usual stuff. Okay, going to do some animals. I'd love to just ditch that slaughterhouse, but every once in a while a new mission pops up where we need it. Really been trying to figure out how to get that buy more land thing going. One thing I did do, another thing I did anyway, is I took all of the drivers and those who only drive, I've unchecked manual work from them so that they'll focus on just driving, and then all of the non-drivers, you know, everybody else, have all also been unchecked from driving. So now we have just our machine operators operating the machines. So far that's working out well, and you can see there's still a handful of employees that are not maxed out, so as I'm in a hurry up and wait period, this might not be a bad thing to go ahead and invest in maxing out the remainder of our employees. Okay, we are nearly there. This is the last. Okay, here's a necessary one. Caleb. This was the one house we definitely haven't visited. We're down to our last 2 employees that are not maxed out. I don't know which one she's doing, but we'll get both maxed out. There you go. Alright, task done. That is all the employees upgraded everything except beekeeping, as we have no beekeeping taking place at this point. Sure, that would be additional income, but whatever. Hasn't come up in the campaign itself, and space. Space is an obvious issue for us. And we are running lower and lower on the space. We have enough room for a road here. There is definitely not enough room to squeeze anything in there. We've got a small space here. We still have a little bit of room there for some sort of manufacturing. We still have a little room here behind the house. And we've got a small amount of space through here and here. And one little pocket down there. That's it. That's all that is left. This little tiny pocket in there as well. These 2 little pockets, I don't think I can fit anything in other than maybe some decor in any of those types of spaces. So there are no large spaces left at all. You know, you can just about make something work through this area down here. But I mean, we're at 85-90% now. capacity of this space. And as it won't let me buy land, I'm hoping that's just campaign locked, and that eventually we'll have that unlocked. Or maybe that's just the challenge of the campaign, is you can't just buy up the land and go poof and magically have all the space you need to do what you need to do and fly through it. They're intentionally making it difficult. You can see we have lots of harvests. I'm not worried about the quantities anymore on those things. We're down to 200 days on the research. We're also down to 72 days here, but again, what do we do in the meantime? Forage harvester, no, we're good. The reapers. Corn reaper, no, we don't have. We already have the cereal. What about the chopper? No need for that. And we don't need a smaller reaper or a smaller chopper or a smaller, yeah, no, that's all we need from there. Okay, we have all of those items, and we have that. We have this. It's weird to be in a hurry up and wait scenario where there's not really anything else we could do. We don't own a potatoes planter at this point. Maybe it's time to just take care of that, even though it's only going to sit and cost us money. But I'm literally stuck with like nothing to do, so kind of the last piece of equipment we didn't already own. Okay, we have 2 chest trailers. Trying to think, what else could we use 2 of? We have 2 sprayers. Yes, we do. 2 spreaders. We don't have 2 manure spreaders. Alright, we've been sitting on 86 animals for a while. That was, I'm guessing, when we did our quail little mission. We have not had any sick animals in a very long time. Alright, produce resources now up to roughly 1,600. Factory upkeep cost 367,000. Yikes. But that's only the cost of one new building, and that's quite a few buildings. So potential revenue from selling the products, 1.1 million. That's a lot. Capacity of factory warehouses. Yeah, we've been getting pretty high up there for a while. Alright, little overview. 64 of 72 spaces are filled, so we have room spread out among the houses for 8 additional employees. 40 are assigned to buildings. There's 10 further slots there that are available. Monthly wages, 91,000. And the harvest season has begun, so we're going to see those finances jump here very soon. And it's a month till the apples will be done, and hopefully we bring in what we need, which is 1,000 organic apples. I would think that's going to net 1,000 apples. You would think it would, in which case we'll be moving on from that task quite shortly. Producing a lot of oatmeal though. Looks like we could even use a third mill. Or really a third and fourth mill. 2 on the wheat, 2 on the oat. Because we're not making a dent. We're kind of just holding steady now on the quantities. So 2 of each sounds like it will just about do it. We're not producing quite as much as we were before in the oat, because we converted the 3 fields into 1 field, and one of those was an oat field, so we actually are making less oat than we were before, but it does not seem to be impacting us at this point. Eat, work, sleep, play, you know, all that kind of stuff. Also, 23 days! That is the famed amount of days that pass on a 21-stage Grand Tour race. As in cycling, as in Tour de France. 21 stages, 2 rest days, covers 23 days. It's magical. August. Hot August nights. Down to 17 days. How you looking? You got the hemp? It's already... Okay. I can't forget we need to switch that up at some point. It's one of the only ones we need to bother with switching anymore. Speaking of bothering with, don't do that often enough. Help those cows. But that kind of just forces my hand to hang on to that thing. It just keeps coming up. Rain, rain in August. Do, 10 days to go. Almost hit the point where we were in December. Only 8 months later, and there you go. We've done it. 9 days left. 8 months on, and we're at the same point we were. That's how agonizing close we were. We've now progressed beyond our previous stage. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. So days to die. That's a fun game, by the way. Never tried that one. It's not living up with the time well, though. The graphics much better than when that came. It's been in early access for like a billion years, or 8 or 9, and from where it was when it first came out, original. Fire department! No, our tractors are burning! Put it out, put it out. Okay. Okay. 4 days. 4 days. Completely lost whatever train of thought there was. That train has derailed. But that's okay. I don't need my thoughts. Honestly, I'm kind of just killing time until we can move on to the next stage. I thought for sure it was going to be super fast. I was hoping it was going to pick up with that 9 days to go from the hibernation, or maybe, you know, go to 39 days, backtrack by a month. No, those apples essentially died. Without ever getting harvested. It's fine. In real life, it takes more than a year for an apple tree to start producing anyway. At least I think it does. Man, oh man, I don't know for sure. Bears fruit! Bears like fruit. They like fish more. Ha ha ha. Yay! Oh, large quantities of apples. We have a harvester. We have a harvester. Seriously, people? Whatever. That 1,000's gonna easily blown past that 1,000. Okay, yo. Let's finish, huh? The harvest is essentially done. So it's still sitting in the... No? Still hasn't made it. Oh. Maybe because the tractor's still sitting there waiting. Waiting. Playing the waiting game. There it goes. Goodbye, tractor. And dropped it off at the house. And now we have... 22,000. But I just noticed something. That's our organic apples. And we've set it to sell anything over 1,000. So we need to set this up for organic apples, not just apples. I like those Fuji apples. They're a little crisp. There it is. Sell. I don't know. We'll set 1,000 because I don't know if that's going to actually be useful for us. Okay, well that's going to sell 20,000 apples. Speaking of. Holy cow. Oh, apple orchard. Apple orchard. There's the money. Large chicken, large ostrich, small cow shed. Okay, there's one of them. But I don't want to take away our cows. Small pigsty. There's the boar. And the mediums. We can't even do the mediums. Thanks. Okay, well, we're going to have a problem on our hands with trying to set this up. I think we might have to just utilize some of this space that remains, even though it's not in our animal production area. Unless we move our grass field or ditch the fodder beets. Even then, I don't know if that's going to be big enough. And you have to have 20 deer. Is it buy 20 deer or is it have? I'm guessing it's have. So you get 10 in each one. And 15 in each one. Hopefully that's the case. Otherwise, if we're buying 5 or if there's like 4 each, yeah, we're in trouble. Trouble. Let's find out. Dear. 4. 4? Oh, come on. What they want is they want you to be in the mediums by now. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing you to be in a medium shed, not a small shed. Alright, do I have anybody available who works animals? I have a couple manufacturers available. I believe I might have a couple of manufacturers that are also animal workers. I think we need to do some research, but we have 99 days to go. It's so incredibly annoying that I can't buy land. Okay, harvest, honey harvest, weed infestation, insect. Third level of building for sheep and goats. There's the third level of cows. Poultry. Pigs. Production rate, milk and eggs. Second level. There's second level. Okay. And that's only going to take 3 days. Okay, employee. Generation. Machine durability. Renewable energy. There's nothing about buying land. That's something I've checked many times and made no progress with. Already harvested, so that's a once a year thing. But it's 180,000 every year for one field. It's not bad. And that's a very low work rate when you only have one field to manage. You could definitely do nothing but orchards and just have enough employees to go out and pick those and work those fields. And my oh my, talk about easy farm management. You could have just a couple houses, a farmhouse, some equipment right dead center, and just surround it by orchard fields and make a ton of money from that early in the game. And then you can, if you're doing sandbox, then you can buy land openly. Let's focus on the venison and see what happens. Do we lose a percentage when they go away? Or is it a matter of purchasing? Because if it's a matter of purchasing, it does go away, down to 30%. Darn. I was hoping that it was a matter of purchasing and not having the deer, in which case we could have just purchased our way through this predicament. I need 3 sheds of that size to get the necessary deer. And squeeze those in ultimately. But then what about the boar? Is that also going to be 4 per or 6 per? We need to wait for some upgrades because we don't have the space to do that. And that means some things are going to have to change. Alright, well, if that's not going to matter, that's not going to matter. So we will change production here shortly. Back to the beef. But also, I could see this needing the slaughterhouse as the next stage. So we're not going to sell that meat. We're going to hang on to it. Oh, they retained our number. Just needed to be checked off again. Thank you for that update. Oh, we have gone through all the oats? You gotta be kidding me. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. You trying to trick me? Do we have oats, though? Have they really gone through all of that in this short period of time all of a sudden? Oh, they have. Yes, they have. Where's the wheat? There's the wheat. We have wheat. And we have all that stinking buckwheat that I can't seem to do anything with. Change production. Please, oh please. Put that oat back in storage. Return to sender. Done for the season. We've got the buckwheat now done for the season. There's a new hemp harvest, so that's gonna get back to work soon. And then we got 53 days left here, so we got some time to kill again. There's not gonna be anything we can do until this stage is done, and then a few days after that we'll be able to get to stage 2, and then we'll see what happens. So that means we're pushing forward at least a month. It'll be into December, and then we'll go from there. So we'll pick up next episode from there. That's going to do it for this one, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.